Did you know that 1 billion people use Instagram every month? And did you know that of those 1 billion people, there are more than 200 million users who have a following of at least 50,000 people? Instagram has allowed many people to forego a regular job to become professional influencers. But just how did Instagram go from being a social drinking app to be the powerful social media platform it is today? Before we get into the story, welcome to Business Successful, where it's all about successful founders and businesses. The beginning. In 2005, a guy named Kevin Systrom was presented with a life-changing opportunity. A certain person who he knew offered him a chance to become an early employee at his startup. Systrom realized that it could be a great opportunity for him, but was skeptical about leaving Stanford to work at a startup. So he turned to one of his mentors at Stanford with the question, "Should I do this?" His mentor had his opinion about the startup ready. "It's a fad," he said. So Systrom took his mentor's advice to heart and turned the offer down. That startup was Facebook, and that certain person who offered him the chance was Mark Zuckerberg. After graduating in 2005, Systrom was well on his way to become a typical Stanford graduate. He had done an internship at Odeo, where he worked together with the co-founder of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, and he became an employee at Google, where he worked for 2 years before leaving over frustrations of not being promoted. Systrom then got his first taste of the startup world when he joined Nextstop, a travel recommendation site which would later get acquired for $2.5 million by Facebook. While working at Nextstop, Systrom was thinking of starting out on his own. He wanted to create an app which would let users check in at particular locations, make plans for future check-ins, earn points for hanging out with friends, and post pictures of the meetups. When he pitched the idea to venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, a firm which is now well known in Silicon Valley for being an early investor in companies like Facebook, Zoom, and Slack, it was well received. And when Systrom quit his job at Nextstop to go all in, he was given an investment of $500,000 by the firm, who went in together with Baseline Ventures. The app would be called Bourbon, after Systrom's favorite kind of booze. Systrom left a 10% stake in the spreadsheet blank for a potential co-founder. Because the VCs at Andreessen Horowitz told Systrom that his biggest problem was the fact that he was solo, they told him, "A co-founder can correct you when you're wrong and push a good idea further." His search for a co-founder was soon completed when his buddy from Stanford, Mike Krieger, said he would love to be the co-founder. Krieger would handle the technical side of the company, and Systrom would be the face of the company. Systrom took a huge risk with this because there were fears that Krieger would not be allowed to work in the United States, as he was a Brazilian citizen and had to apply for a working visa, which typically required a lottery. The gamble did pay off because after a couple of months, Krieger finally got the result he was waiting for. He had a visa. The Pivot of Burbn. Bourbon wasn't the success story that Systrom, Krieger, and the VCs had hoped for. The app had too many features, causing users to get confused and stop using it. When Systrom and Krieger were looking at all of the analytics, they saw that the only feature people really used was the picture sharing feature. So instead of spending the remaining $495,000 of the funding for Bourbon, they decided to focus all their attention and use that money to create an app that would allow people to share their pictures. On October 12, 2010, they launched the new app, which they called Instagram. The combination of instant and telegram. When Systrom asked his girlfriend what she thought of the new app, she said that she liked it, but she wouldn't use it because her pictures wouldn't be as good as some of her friends' pictures. So Systrom explained to her that the reason their pictures were so great was because they used filters. And as he was explaining this, he realized that if his girlfriend won't post pictures for this reason, more people will. And that if this app was going to be a success, it would need to have filters built into it. This turned out to be a great decision, which separated Instagram from other picture-sharing apps. Systrom doesn't really mind that Bourbon didn't end up as a hit. As he said at a conference in 2012, It's all about going through false starts, and yep, Burbn was a false start. The best companies in the world have all had predecessors. YouTube was a dating site. You always have to evolve into something else. There was another prototype which Systrom and Krieger built between Burbn and Instagram. Can you guess what the name of the prototype was? Scotch. Yeah, Systrom really loves whiskey. The beginning of Instagram. Instagram was an immediate hit. The app had 100,000 users within a week, and they reached 1 million users on the 12th of December, only 64 days after the app was launched. In February of 2011, Systrom and Krieger received $7 million in funding from several investors, valuing Instagram at $25 million. One of those investors was Jack Dorsey, the co-founder of Twitter, who at the time was just pushed out of the role of Twitter CEO and had founded Square. He liked what Systrom and Krieger were doing, and he gladly let his 1.6 million Twitter followers know about it. Dorsey wasn't the only celebrity early adapter, as Justin Bieber joined the app in July of 2011, causing a lot of his fans to download Instagram as well. He was gaining 50 followers a minute, which was unprecedented at the time. Justin Bieber, realizing that he was important for Instagram's success, called Systrom and demanded to be paid for his content, to which Systrom replied with a simple, "No, we don't do that here." Then Bieber made a threat saying, "Okay, then let me invest in Instagram, or I'm leaving the platform." Systrom said no again, and Bieber held true to his word, leaving the platform, only to return shortly after when he saw that his ex Selena Gomez was using Instagram. The Takeover. Jack Dorsey urged the leaders of Twitter to think about acquiring Instagram ever since he, himself, had invested in it. And at first, the leaders of Twitter declined, saying they didn't believe in the app and that it was too early to tell if it would be a success. But they finally came to their senses in early 2012 when they started talks with Systrom and Krieger about the possibility of Twitter buying Instagram. Jack Dorsey let Systrom know that he really wanted Twitter to help Instagram and that money would be of no issue. After meeting with then CEO of Twitter, Dick Costolo, several times, Systrom and Krieger told them that they were still unsure about selling and that they would need more time to think about it. On the 5th of April 2012, Instagram raised $50 million from venture capitalists, valuing the app at $500 million. Mark Zuckerberg, who is playing the board game Risk but in real life, saw what was happening and decided that he must have this little army called Instagram before it became a bigger threat to his modern empire, Facebook. He had to have it, no matter the costs. So Zuckerberg invited Systrom and Krieger to his house for the weekend, and he made them an offer they couldn't refuse. $1 billion for the entire company, which only consisted of a team of 13 people. And as a big plus point, the app would stay autonomous, something which was unprecedented in the tech world at the time. But after this, more companies started doing it, like Amazon with Whole Foods. Systrom and Krieger accepted Zuckerberg's offer immediately, and on the 9th of April 2012, 4 days after Instagram received the funding which valued them at $500 million, Instagram was acquired by Facebook for $1 billion. Controversy. While the venture capitalists who had just doubled their money within days were ecstatic upon hearing the news, Jack Dorsey and the people at Twitter were shocked and angry when they heard the news. Did Systrom and Krieger lead them on while they were really just waiting for Facebook to make an offer? Jack Dorsey had told them that money wouldn't be an issue, so it could not have been for the price. When investigators were looking at the deal to see whether or not it would be legal for Facebook to buy Instagram and whether or not it would create a monopoly, Systrom testified that there were no other offers, even though Twitter executives claimed that there was an official offer on the table for $525 million a few weeks prior to the Facebook deal. But this news didn't come out until after investigators had approved the deal, so they didn't look at it. And Facebook got the permission they needed to buy Instagram. Working for Facebook. The Instagram team got a tiny office on the Facebook campus and were told to just keep on doing what they were doing. Instagram was still an autonomous company, with Kevin Systrom as its CEO, and they would keep on growing giving rise to more and more influencers. But even though this seemed to be a great thing for Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, it seemed like Zuckerberg was actually getting jealous that Instagram was becoming more popular under young people than his own brainchild, Facebook. And top executives at Facebook complained that Instagram was taking attention away from Facebook's platform, even though that wasn't a bad thing for the company Facebook. In anticipation of leaving, Systrom pushed for Facebook employee Adam Mosseri to be transferred to the Instagram team. Systrom wanted his replacement to be someone he trusts and who is trained by the Instagram team. More controversy. Since the beginning of Instagram, there has been controversy about body shaming and cyberbullying happening on the platform. These issues still exist today as Facebook and Instagram have not yet found a real solution to it, so they still receive a lot of criticism for it. But the hate towards Facebook reached new levels in 2017, when evidence showed that the Russian government had spent about $100,000 on ads encouraging people to vote for Trump in 2016. Companies like Facebook and Twitter were called to testify in front of Congress. Instagram, however, wasn't called upon, even though it was later revealed that the Russians had hundreds of accounts with more than 10,000 followers and 12 accounts with more than 100,000 followers on Instagram, most of them being meme accounts. Facebook family. After working under Facebook for 6 years, Systrom and Krieger decided they had enough. On the 24th of September, they published their farewell notes and quit immediately. Not long after their departure, Facebook announced the family of apps, which would put Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger under the umbrella of Facebook for advertising purposes. And there would be no new CEO. Adam Mosseri would become the head of Instagram from Facebook. A slightly different job title, which made it obvious Instagram would be less of an autonomous company than before. The future of Instagram might not be with Facebook, however, as the Federal Trade Commission has sued Facebook for illegal monopolization. If the FTC wins this lawsuit, the Facebook family of apps will have to be broken off, and Instagram will have to be sold. Let us know what you think. Should Facebook be forced to sell Instagram? Also, let us know what topic we should discuss next.